Hi, welcome back to another video.
Yeah, well, I'm going to introduce it. We're still doing our player profile videos. Obviously, we've been doing quite a few of those recently, and they are interesting, and I hope what they'll do is they'll highlight some fascinating what if, and there'll be a lot of controversy over these players, because that's right. In the last one, we talked about Aaron Rodgers, and that created me and Al with a very interesting situation. A gentleman's bet was struck. You probably saw it here. And today I want to carry on talking. It'd be no shock, we did mention it, so Al's been prepared. So we're talking about Baker Mayfield. I want to lay the case out for Baker. Now, just for those that are watching and those that know me, know this. Many of you will know, in those American leagues, I traded for Baker Mayfield long before OBJ news. Long before. A few weeks and months before. I went heavy in. Gave up pieces. Got 2 picks. Baker Mayfield. Suddenly the news of OBJ broke. And then suddenly people caught up to what was actually going on with the Browns. And the Browns were a team that is emerging. Now, it wasn't until the OBJ move that people suddenly caught up to where I was already thinking, because I was seeing the pieces lining up. I could see they had the running game you need. That's the beginning of the year and down the stretch. They've got Chubb. I love Chubb for this year. I'm not even going to debate how good this guy could be, and I'm not even going to debate the argument that the problem comes when Hunt comes back. I'm not going to debate that. I'm just saying both of them are
surely
great.
That makes it better.
It's great.
They got Duke Johnson as well.
You know, fresh legs, never a bad thing. 2 running backs, never a bad thing. Both can catch, never a bad thing. So he's got that in his locker, Baker. The other thing is, he's got moxie, okay? He's not frightened to take risks. He's actually made the Browns talkable, relevant, for the first time ever. How many quarterbacks have they gone through to get to this point? 31? In 10 years or something crazy, not even that probably, to get to this point where we have a player who I was not high on. So I'm going to be first off the bat to say, look, I looked at the quarterbacks coming in that class and I just didn't get Baker. I just thought there was a problem with this bloke. But what I didn't see was what he showed when he reached the NFL. Sure, he is going to say what he feels. He is going to talk it up, but he's backing it up on the field. They've surrounded him with both a defense and an offense that anybody could argue is playoff worthy. I'm not saying the Browns. I'm not going to say the Browns are Super Bowl winners yet. I think that takes a year or two. But I would argue they're playoff ready. That's all I would say. I'd say they're a playoff ready team, and it would be a disaster if they weren't to get to the playoffs at the very least. I think Baker can massively eclipse his 28 touchdowns last year. I think he showed complete poise on running as well. He was brilliant at it. He's got so many more weapons than he had last year, and the whole team looks locked and loaded, ready to go. So I think what you're going to see is a quarterback that is going to challenge for top numbers throughout the year. Not saying he gets the number 1 or number 2, but he's in the mix for it now. And I do believe, as I said in the previous video, that he will finish ahead of Aaron Rodgers because they've got back. These are the factors that really, really help him. Complete team. Argue it however you want. Everywhere you look, the pieces are all lined up, so you've got a complete team. I can't see weaknesses. I just don't see them. Defensively, they look strong. They've got home field that actually wants to be there now. The dog pound is intimidating when Cleveland are doing well. They haven't done it for years. It's been splashes of a bit of a good year here and there. But when they do well, the team and the ethos, everybody gets behind them. When they were on Hard Knocks, they looked great. The way they talked as a team, the coaching, everything looks right for me. So I'm very, very high on Baker. I've been high on him since before OBJ landed, as all these American guys will know, and were shocked at what I was doing. And then a few days later, after it all landed right, they went, you were a bit lucky. No, it's called seeing it before it happens. Now, there is an issue with OBJ.
Got an uncanny knack of doing that.
Yeah, there is an issue with OBJ. Right, he is very high on a breakdown list for me. He could break down. So there is that. He might break down. But I think they've got enough weapons around Baker, and the way he spreads the ball, it's not like he locks in, where I think he can do exceptionally well for this year. So that's why I believe he will out-duel the master. And I think we're looking at one of these guys that you're going to think is a very, very special player for a few years to come.
No, I don't disagree with it.
That's where I think he is.
I don't disagree with it, dynasty type, but I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers yet.
Hasn't proved
That's
it.
a big leap.
It is a big leap. Yeah.
That was my point. Unless Aaron Rodgers goes down, there's no way he outplays.
Could he be slightly? My argument would be that where Baker lifts a little higher from his previous numbers, and he doesn't have to lift a lot to be a really big jump, where Aaron might struggle really to recapture the form.
No, I disagree. I think it looks good for Rodgers.
Yeah.
You've got another year with the 3 rookie receivers.
Yeah.
You got Geronimo Allison coming back. You got Aaron Jones, who broke out last year, and he's a really good back. He can catch the ball. Jimmy Graham, okay, he's not what he was, but he played with a finger injury most of the year, so you got that weapon back.
Yep.
He played all year hurt. McCarthy's gone, and he was terrible.
He was awful. Yeah, I got to agree with that.
Anyone who's got any sense,
Yeah.
When the Patriots are in trouble, they put the ball in Brady's hands, and Brady is clutch. And Aaron Rodgers is the same, and they weren't doing that. Aaron Rodgers, I know, you want to run the game out, you want to run the clock, but I'd just put it in Aaron Rodgers' hands. He's that good.
Do you think that the new coach coming in can bring the best out of Rodgers, or do you think it's because one of the issues?
Well, I thought McCarthy brought the worst out of Rodgers.
Because did you think,
and that showed?
Wasn't the biggest issue with that at the end of their relationship as a coach and a quarterback the fact that he did have too much faith in Aaron and there was no control?
No, I think the opposite. He didn't put, when the game was on the line, he didn't put it in Rodgers' hands.
So you think he was too controlling at the end?
Too conservative.
Right, okay.
Too conservative, because Rodgers can destroy
Do you
teams.
think the new guy is going to be... Because one of my concerns with the new chap coming in is he charismatic enough in a team that needs that kind of charisma to do well?
I think you just let Rodgers call his own plays because he's that good. He's that experienced. He's seen it all, done it all. He's probably the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for...
So... If you had to, coming back to the Baker point,
Mahomes has had one great year. Rodgers has had a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking.
And Mahomes is, I'm not knocking Mahomes.
I can't.
He's excellent.
I mean, we are splitting. This is absolutely splitting hairs because it literally could be that they're that close.
I think you're right. Rodgers off at your peril. That's my thought.
Yeah.
And with a better scheme, a less conservative scheme, where they're just trying to run it and play safe plays.
Yeah. You
Look at how many times has Rodgers thrown a Hail Mary?
He's bailed them out of a lot of trouble.
I mean, literally impossible.
He saved them
literally
games.
Impossible win.
I'm not. As I said in the previous video, I'm a big fan of his. What I'm saying is, I think Baker Mayfield will take the crown this year.
He will step up.
That's why I see it. But it will be. It could be awfully close. This is a really good one. This could be very much closer than people think. One way or the other. Should be very, very interesting.
Be ready to, wear your forfeit.
Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing what happens next. But anyway, so that's my thoughts around Baker. Al's given his sort of counter. If you had to kind of argue, where you think they would both finish up, where would you see Aaron? Do you think Aaron reclaims his crown? Does he become the number one QB this year? If you talk about standard league scoring, because we're using that as a sort of a base.
I think if he plays all year, he's top three. Definitely.
Top three, definite. And where would you see Baker? Would you see Baker at the worst case scenario, sort of fourth or fifth? Do you think that's quite possible?
No. I think worst case he could be 15, 16.
You think he could be right down the list?
No, I don't think he will. I think worst case he could be.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So you think there's a worst case in there because of various reasons?
I think, he's probably, his ceiling's about 5 and he's going at 7, so...
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's that much gain.
Right, interesting. And that's great because that's what we're looking for in this video series. We're looking for those differences of opinions. So you can clearly see we're very divided on this, and that's fine.
No, I do think he's good. I think the Browns will be a lot better, but they're not. I know Rodgers. They're not. He's not around Rodgers yet. He's not.
Well, we're going to find out just how good this guy really is this year. We're going to see whether I've caught the start of a rocket or whether I've caught the end of a dud. We're going to find out whether it's just a stuttering start. He has one good year and then there's a bad slump. It can happen, and Al's right, but we'll see how it plays out.
I think Fitzmagic's going to outscore him.
God, I hope not. Anyway, come back for the next video. We thank you very much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, and tell us what you think.
Okay, thanks for watching.